Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm having a drink with.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Those are
Thank
quite
you.
good.
Oh, cute glasses too.
Very nice. Well,
Cheers.
cheers. Yay.
Cheers. When did you feel like you made it?
Oh, again, hard to pinpoint. I mean, I will say, I'll tell you when I quit my day job.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was signed to a 10-album record contract.
Oh my gosh.
And that doesn't mean we guarantee you're going to have 10 albums. It means on the extremely off chance that you're successful, we've got you. We've got you for 10 albums.
Yeah.
So it's protecting them, not me. But anyway, so I signed this deal. I think the advance was $0. 'Cause I was working literally for a minimum wage job in a mailroom.
Okay.
And I thought, well, signing a record contract seems better than not signing a record contract.
Oh, heck yeah.
But, still, I recorded my album, and I'm still working in the mailroom because I got to pay for the macaroni and cheese. And I remember one day, as part of my job, I went to the post office and got the mail bag, and Billboard magazine was sticking out of the top, and I said, oh, let me check this out. And I opened it up, and I'm there on the Hot 100 chart.
Oh my God.
And I'm thinking, I should probably give notice at work. I should probably get serious about this Weird Al thing.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
What was your parents' response when before that, when you shift from architecture to music?
If
you're
they were
like, I'm not going to
concerned-
pursue this anymore.
If they were concerned, they didn't let on. I mean, because they knew I was, a very rational and mature and adult-minded kid. I mean, I was my high school valedictorian. I was always, very steady. I wasn't one of these kind of kids like, I'm going to go to Hollywood and be a rock star. I was, not like that at all. In fact, I don't know that I ever made any kind of proclamation like, now I'm doing this.
Okay.
It was more like I graduated with my degree and then kind of went, I don't know if this is going to work out for me. Let me try a few things. So if they were concerned, I didn't really feel that kind of pressure because my dad especially was always of the mind that I had to find what made me happy. It was kind of cool because he was not a career guy. He was a very blue-collar guy. I mean, he worked at a number of jobs, a steel manufacturing plant and security guard and street crossing guard, and just, whatever struck his fancy. And, he just never pushed me in any direction. He was always like, we want you to be happy and whatever that is.
Best thing they could-
My
they
mom
could
did say, stay out of Hollywood, whatever you do. Oopsie.
That didn't
Yeah,
work
she said,
out.
there's evil people there. And she wasn't wrong, but,
Oh my gosh.
But once things started going my way and I became successful, they couldn't have been prouder. They were so sweet. Yeah.
I bet. What today makes you nervous?
Well, going on stage still makes me nervous to some
Okay.
extent. I mean, and it depends on the situation. I mean, the first few shows of any tour, I get nervous because I know something's going to go wrong. I'm going to forget a word. The
just like
computer
everyone
server's going to fall apart. Something's going to happen, and it always does. And you just have to, acknowledge that and be prepared for it as much as you can. I've seen interviews with performers that say, oh, I only feel alive when I'm on the stage, or I never feel so comfortable as when I'm on the stage, and I cannot identify with that at all. I mean, I like the idea that
People
you
do
need
say
to be...
that, yeah.
No, they do, and I'm like, who are you? What is wrong with you? That's like they've got the whole opposite gene than I have.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I agree that it's good to be a little nervous because it keeps you on your toes, but to say that you're like even less nervous, like,
Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
No. That's funny. I read, and I don't know if it's true, that you don't encourage suggestions for the songs that you do parodies of, but that Madonna suggested one of her songs, and you did do it. So I'm curious what made you pursue that.
Well,
'cause it's Madonna,
Madonna's
or-
just got this way about her. She's hard to say no to.
And where did that conversation take place? And
Well, her conversation, she was in New York with a friend of hers and happened to wonder aloud when I was going to do Like a Surgeon. I don't know exactly when or where that was specifically, but my manager told me that anecdote and I thought, man, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I normally make a point of not taking somebody else's suggestion, but I figured Madonna, yeah, throw a bone.
Yeah. What has been your biggest pinch me moment from all those so many moments kind of just like that?
I've had a lot in my life, and a lot of them were just in this last year alone. Certainly the number one album was a huge one. I mean, a comedy album's never debuted at the top of the charts before, so that was something that I never, ever anticipated would happen. Recently, actually right now, I'm on the cover of Mad magazine, which is something I wish I could go back in time and tell my 12-year-old self about, because I was so obsessed with Mad. And the fact that I'm on the cover of Mad now is just mind-blowing.
If you could have a drink with anyone, who would it be?
Anybody in history?
In
all of
history.
history?
In all of history.
I'd go with my wife.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Where would you guys want to be having?
Maybe in our living room.
Oh.
Maybe in the fuzzy chair.
Okay, that's a sweet answer. All right.